Hi guys, today's episode of Online Finds, I've got this smart battery monitor from AliExpress. So as you probably know, I do a lot of RC crawling and I like to do some funky things. One thing is having, and I've done this before, I'll maybe pop up a picture here on my Ascent Fusion where I had sort of a battery monitor that I built into the back. So just quickly, I could just push a button and check on the status of the battery and on the rig. Yeah, I know, you're probably thinking, well, you got RSSI and your transmitter. Maybe you do, some people don't. So it's another option. So I'm gonna give this one a go. I'm also sort of looking at, we do a lot of water stuff, right? So I'm looking at, how waterproof this is. So I'm probably gonna coat this either with conformal, or I have some rubberized electrical tape that I'll probably put on all of this, because the top is sealed, right? It's one unit, but the bottom is not, so I'll probably seal that up. So I sort of want to mount that on the back of the rig, and I can just quickly press the button to check the status of the battery. And so I thought I'd also do a bit of testing, because one of the big questions with these things is how accurate they are. So some information on this first. When you buy these, they're essentially calibrated in some cases. In this case, this is calibrated. I do all my crawling and RC stuff with 3S's, so it's calibrated for 3S, but I'll double check the specs and I'll post it up here, but I think it might work for multiple levels of battery types, so we'll double check that. But I thought I'd give it a bit of test too, because you can just use this as a voltage quick voltage checker as well if you don't have a proper voltmeter. And I wanted to do some testing to say, well, how good is it, how accurate is it, and what can it and can it not test. So the first test I did was with a AA battery, and it died. It was pretty much dead in the water. It's obviously part of the calibration, so I'll quickly check that. So it doesn't even register. Obviously it needs to have a minimum voltage, so nothing shows up. So it doesn't just do usually these things have microcontrollers in them, or some sort of controller in it, and it requires a minimum voltage just to function. And that's the case here, where that guy has voltage to it. It has capacity, but it's not registering. So then I said, okay, well, 9-volt battery does work, so let's test that. So quick check of the 9-volt. It'll shift over here. 8.4 volts is what this registers. So let's do a real check here and see what we get on this guy. So we get 8.53 volts on the voltmeter. Pretty accurate. Good enough for when you're just checking batteries of that status. So let's also check a LiPo. This is a 3S. A second here. So checking on this guy. Sure. By the way, I already made the mistake of reverse polarity, and it works. It doesn't blow it up. So this guy here will register at 12.6, and also now you can see that there goes my battery. It shows sort of the status, and the way the status works here is that it's multiple battery bars, and if you, the little tiny green LED at the bottom represents the level. So I just charged this battery, so it's full. It's got a 12.6 volts. So also when you're using this on the rig, it doesn't have to stay on. So if you're really I'm sure the power draw in this is super low. I haven't tested it, but I'm sure it's super low, the current draw, but you can turn it off too. So it automatically turns on when you first plug it in, and you can turn it on and back off and on. So it's you don't have any parasitic drain on your rig while you're using it. But again, you could have this sort of either somewhere on the roof or on the back of your rig somewhere. Again, so let's check 12.6 volts. Let's see how accurate we are on that reading. Make sure I don't do this the wrong way. And we have 12.61 volts. So pretty much bang on for what it's calibrated for, which is a LiPo. So as always, my online finds, I post links to where you can get these things on AliExpress. Appreciate if you're interested, click that link. I get a very small commission on every purchase. And also please subscribe. I am going to try to do these weekly. So and my focus is again on the space of things that I buy, these bits and bobs and pieces and tools and electronics and microcontrollers for all the space of my hobbies, which is RC crawling mostly, and then ESP32 Arduino projects, LED projects, some robotic stuff. So stick around, and hopefully you'll have some things that maybe you never heard of, and some things that you can use for your own hobbies. Thanks for watching. Ciao.